Hi everybody, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. In this one, I just wanted to share with you a painting I did last year, and I thought it was a good opportunity to look at not only painting the human figure, but also looking at painting it in a very simple way that still kind of captures character and captures the essence of what we are painting. So we're going to have a little bit of a theory section and then we're going to dive into the painting itself.
This is not my own photo, this is by Francesca Naomi Marconi. I will put the link to Francesca's work in the description. And I chose it because of the beautiful light and shadow, which I want to talk about a little bit more in a moment. That's always something I'm looking for. Not only does it make it really fun to paint, quite often these patterns of light and shadow make it a little bit easier. So in terms of capturing the character of the subject, more often than not when we're painting figures, we're quite often looking for kind of the relationship between, maybe if you've got a person walking like this towards us or slightly towards us, there quite often there's a tilt to the shoulders and a tilt to the pelvis, and it's this kind of tilt of these particular bits here, and then secondly the tilt of, say, the arms and the legs, and the tilt and the angle of everything really can give a lot of gesture and character to a subject. We don't have a lot of that going on here. The main thing is that we look very importantly for this angle that's going through the neck, and also this ever so slight angle on the front of the face. It's the kind of interaction of those two, then the way that that kind of comes back through the body like this and then comes out again a little bit like that. So it's this kind of gentle but important movement through the figure. So really pay attention to the underlying structure, like the scaffolding of the figure. That's going to make a big difference. Then beyond that, I'm really looking for light and shadow. So I can see here, for example, a big shadow shape. That's the big shape that holds this together. And I'm going to try and work wet into wet generally within the shadows. So actually when I'm looking at this, although we change what the subject or the object is, sorry, actually what we have is one big shadow shape there, and if I have that big shadow shape in place, that's going to provide the structure. We then have this beautiful ball for the head, which grades from being lighter here, and it gently grades around the form of the subject to be more in shadow here, and then we can put our big shadow shapes on top of that. How are we going to paint this in a lively and exciting way and not make it too rigid and stiff? So simple yet accurate shapes, good gesture and character, light and shadow. The final thing to think about is I'm going to focus more attention here, so I'm going to refine this area more, a little bit more detail, a little bit more time spent here getting it just right, getting it working. Doesn't have to be exactly like the photo. Then we have this large area here where we can really abstract the subject. We can play around with light and shadow, we can take some cues from the subject, but here we can really just paint some nice big abstract shapes, play around with the paint, see where it takes us, and then probably the secondary point of interest, so not the focal point, but not the largely abstracted area. Here we want simple yet accurate shapes, enough to show it's a hand holding something but not getting too bogged down in detail, because we don't want that hand to compete for attention with the face. I didn't know what I wanted to do with the background, so I kind of discover that as I'm painting. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the painting process, which we're going to look at now.
If you would like to see the full-length version of this particular painting, you can hop over to my online School of Watercolour. The link is in the description. If you're looking to take your painting to the next level, wherever you're currently at, or maybe you've got some particular frustrations or a particular element that you want to dive a lot deeper into, I definitely recommend checking this out. I have a completely new professionally filmed tutorial released every 2 weeks. Loads of techniques and tips videos. We also have the online forum, which is a wonderful community of like-minded artists. And I'm slowly building up a kind of back catalogue of my older Patreon videos as well, for those of you who might want to see those.
Alright guys, so I start off with a nice simple wash, keeping it really light, loads of water. Almost can't go too wrong if you keep it nice and light. And then we can always deal with the shadows later. So already I'm breaking away and painting outside the lines, being a little bit more abstract and free, away from the focal point of the face. And when it comes to the face itself, I'm already being a little bit more refined, taking my time a little bit more, creating that lovely rounded form. I'm not really drifting into the shadows, but I am creating very much the light side of the face with some highlights, drifting around the form of the face into a slightly darker tone on the cheek and into the neck, ready for those lovely cast shadows over the top. Again, moving away from the focal point of the face, I'm getting a bit more broad with my brush strokes, a bit more free with the brush strokes, breaking away from the subject much more and starting to ask that question of what does it feel like the painting wants, rather than what do I need to put in to make it exactly like the subject. Finding that balance between using the subject, yes, when we need to refine areas, to answer or resolve questions that we might have in any given area, but at the same time not kind of feeling like we need to slavishly copy it. So I love this phrase that we are responding to our subject rather than trying to replicate it, and that I always have in my mind. But that's not to say there aren't times when we are trying to replicate the information that is in the subject. So at this point you can already see refined in the face, much more splashy, much looser, really playing with the paint outside of that. However, there's always a structure and a reason for what I'm doing, even if it's being painted a little bit more intuitively. So at the moment I was dropping in some darker tones, starting to use the negative shape of the background to carve out the positive shape of the person, but in a very kind of wet into wet way to get lots of soft edges. Now once I've let that dry, then I come into what I start to think of as the more shadow tones, starting with the gentle shadow to sculpt the initial shape, simple yet accurate, letting the paint flow as much as possible, but within the framework of that little shadow area. Then once I'm happy with that, I start to drop in slightly creamier pigment wet into wet to deepen the tone, deepen the sense of shadow. Really taking my time here with a smaller brush to make that face start to come to life. It's not necessarily complicated, but it is refined in the way that I'm painting it. Then again, I'm moving away from the face into other areas that I don't need or want to be as refined. I start to use a bigger brush, play around with bigger brush strokes, work more wet into wet to get softer edges. And this kind of approach I continue as I build the rest of the painting. Now really having a lot of fun here with the some of the decorations on her top, using them to create or exaggerate the form, much like I do with animal markings. So there's a rhythm to the decorations as they move around her form. They're darker in the shadows, they move into being brighter in the sunlight. And then I continue this idea of simple yet accurate shapes, always focusing on the fact that I have a light family already there. I then paint the gentle shadow and I drop into this the deep shadow, keeping my shapes more simple, away from the focal point of the face, and as I am now going a little bit closer with the small brush in on the details. The shapes need to be just that little bit more refined, just that little bit more accurate. We don't necessarily need lots of details or any more detail than anywhere else in the painting, but the detail is created by the shapes, and the shapes are smaller. There's maybe a higher proportion of these smaller shapes, and they are certainly much more accurate. All of that leading to this feeling of refinement. And what I find is that these areas of refinement in the focal point, for example, in this case the face, they really play off each other with the versus the more abstract or more painterly areas. They really play off each other. The more refined areas make the painterly areas feel more loose and free and expressive and exciting. But equally, the more expressive areas with the big bold brush strokes, they can actually make the focal point feel more refined than it is. So we're creating not only contrast of light and shadow and contrast of colour, but also creating contrast of shape, size and interest and refinement. And contrast is always going to play off each other, whatever it is, to create interest and create an exciting painting. So as we home in on the background now, I'm really trying to consider how I want the background to trap the light on the figure, so the negative shape of the background forming the positive shape of the figure. In some places it's creating a very hard line where the light is catching the subject very strongly. In other places I butt shadow up against shadow to create softer or more lost edges. Again, this play of different types of edges, contrast of different types of edges, is going to help move the viewer's eye around the painting, and again it's going to make the painting more interesting, adding depth, adding areas of interest, different points of interest.
There we go guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That's been one of my favourite paintings that I've done in the last year or so. It just represents a few different things that I finally managed to capture and gave me a clue of where I wanted to go moving forward. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to dive a lot deeper into painting figures or all the other different principles of watercolour painting, I definitely recommend you check out my online watercolour school. But until next time guys, happy living, happy painting, and I'll catch you soon.